Hey friend, in this video, I'll share with you my journey from moving to the United States with $80 to self-made millionaire, how I made it, to inspire you that no matter where you start from, you can achieve financial independence. Let's go. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube or wherever you're watching this video, there are a few things that you might not know about me. So first of all, I live in the United States in California, Bay Area, but I was born and raised in Latvia. I actually grew up in very small town in the countryside in Latvia, and I grew up in quite large family. I have 2 brothers and 3 sisters, quite large family, and I grew up quite poor. Growing up, I'm not gonna go too much in detail, but we definitely struggled. So when I grew up, I always knew the way I grew up, it wasn't fun, and I knew that I want to have a better life for myself. I always envisioned things of owning a nice home and doing the things that I couldn't do as a child. So you know, when you're a child, you're seeing all these fun things other friends doing, and you just dream about those things. So ever since I was a little kid, because of my difficult circumstances, often not having food to eat, often our power was turned off because we didn't pay bills, and I went to school hungry, and often my stomach was eating itself because I didn't have breakfast to eat and I had to wait for free lunch at school, and it was just difficult. It was difficult growing up, but growing up, it taught me a lot of different things that served me really well as an adult. So when I grew up, I had to start working early, and I learned the power of hard work. And when you put in hard work, you can get pretty much anything you want. So I was providing for myself pretty early. At age 12, I was actually going to forest picking blueberries and selling those blueberries to local businesses who bought those blueberries, repackaged and sent to other countries. And then at age 13, I got a job on a farm, and that was one of the best things ever happened to me. It was like the best farm in our area, and that family treated me like their own kid. They're like one of the most generous and kind people I ever met. And then at age 20, I'm gonna fast forward, at age 20, I decided to move to the United States. And before moving to the United States, I went to school for business, but towards agriculture. I went to school and learned how to be a farmer, how to build my own farm. So that's my background. And before I came to the United States, I actually worked 2 summers in Denmark. And that's where I learned a little bit of English. And my English was very minimal because in school I studied actually German for quite a long time. And then last minute I switched to English, but I was so behind, I just didn't speak English that well. But living in Denmark 2 summers, that gave me great experience, and I improved my English, and I was able to somewhat communicate. And that's where my dream of coming to the United States was born. And the reason I decided to come to the United States, because I lived in all these different countries, and I knew Latvia was just not really suiting my dreams and goals and aspirations, and I didn't really have a solid family relationship, and I just wanted to live somewhere else. First, I was exploring different countries in Europe, but no matter where I went, I felt really like an immigrant, and I felt like I was never fitting in. So I decided I wanted to come to the United States. So I came here with through student exchange program to work on a farm. Actually, I started out in Florida on a citrus farm, and I was working for $7 an hour. But I was so grateful and happy to be in the United States and have a job, and they provided me a room to live, and there was a job, right? So I had very humble beginnings, and I knew that's going to be just a stepping stone. And I also knew as soon as I arrived, I just felt like at home. I knew that I will stay in the United States for a very long time. Can't explain how, I just knew it. So fast forward, about 6 months into that program, I just decided that it's not a good fit for me. I moved to Aspen, Colorado, because at that time, my passion, my hobby was snowboarding. I loved snowboarding, and I wanted to live in mountains. That was just one of my big dreams. So I moved to Aspen, Colorado because of a movie, probably have heard of Dumb and Dumber.
I'm talking about a little place called Aspen. Aspen it is.
Now let's go to a little town called Aspen. And I decided to move there with my other buddy who came to the United States with the same program. We partnered up and we said, let's go to Aspen. Let's be ski bumps. And that's exactly what we did. And at first the goal was just to go there, have random jobs and snowboard as much as we can. And we did that. But throughout the whole process, I had different jobs. I was lift operator, then I did landscaping, and then I got a job at a 5-star hotel. And this experience, just being in Aspen in general, just changed everything for me. When I was working at this 5-star hotel, I met lots of successful people who are self-made multi-millionaires. Probably met some billionaires, didn't even realize, because these people who stayed at this hotel were very, very successful, because this hotel was very expensive. The hotel is called Hotel Jerome in Aspen, Colorado. So you can Google it and look it up, and that hotel is still quite famous all these years later. And when I was working at this hotel, I was bellhop and I was valet, I was the driver. And when I was driving these successful people around town, I was not ashamed to ask them, how did you succeed? How did you make it happen? And when I was talking to them, they shared a lot of different things, but 3 things that just kept coming up over and over, and I took a note of that. They said, number 1, if you want to be financially successful, start your own business. Number 2, if you want to grow and be successful, always keep learning. Always keep learning. Doesn't matter what kind of school you went to, start learn, continue learning, read books, attend seminars, just learn. And number 3, they said, you are who you are surrounded with. Your 5 closest friends, it's the average. You are the average of your 5 closest friends. That's another lesson I took away from all those meetings and those conversations with these successful people. So when I knew I have lived out my dream as a ski bum, I knew it's time to move on. I moved to Los Angeles, California. And when I was in Los Angeles, California, I started my first business, because I knew I was working at a hotel. I knew that's just not the future. I was bellhop still at age like 22, I think at that time, 22, 23. And I knew that I want to create my dream life here in the United States. And I knew that staying in a hotel, it's not going to happen. So I was really into fitness, and I loved working out. I loved reading about fitness. And actually I got into fitness when I was living in Aspen. And a lot of people would ask me, how do you get in such a good shape? How do you look so good? And I just realized that I know something here. And a lot of people compliment me, and a lot of people ask for my advice. So I decided to become a personal trainer. And when I became a personal trainer, I quickly realized that working at a gym, I still not going to achieve my goals. When I was working at the gym, I realized I'm working so hard for the gym and I'm still making very little money. I decided that I want to do something truly on my own. And at that time, the bootcamp business craze just started, and it was just like boot camps everywhere. And I decided to start my own fitness bootcamp business. Had no idea what I was doing, but I just leaned in and I figured it out. I figured out how to start my own business. And within few months, I was actually making more money with my fitness bootcamp business part-time. I was only running classes in the mornings. I think I was starting like 6 a.m. to 6:50, and then I had 7 o'clock to 7:50 to class, and I was selling package deals. You can sign up for 1 month, you can sign up for 6 months or 12 months, and I was making actually really, really good money, and most importantly, I was enjoying that business. So that was my first taste of entrepreneurship. And I remember when I surpassed my income that I had in my hotel job, and actually I was making pretty good money with tips and everything, but my fitness business just blew up, and I knew that entrepreneurship is my thing. I knew that I want to be an entrepreneur because I was so much fun. I was making good money, helping people, enjoying my business, and it was such a blast because you can see immediately the more effort you put in, the more success you gain. Because versus a hotel, there's limitation how far you can go. But what happened, I was in a relationship that time, and my significant other, she did not like Los Angeles at all. She kept begging me to move away. So we decided to move back to Colorado because that's where I met her, and I had to sell my business, and I was devastated. I was absolutely devastated. I built this business. I had all these clients that I cared about so much. I did not want to sell that business, but I did sell that business, and I moved back to Aspen, Colorado. And I promised myself I will never ever start a brick and mortar business again, because that was devastating, right? Because I can't take that business with me. So then what I decided while I was back in Aspen, Colorado, I decided to go into e-commerce. I want to figure out how to make money online. And I was selling just anything and everything I could online. Back then, Shopify wasn't that popular yet, or Shopify did not exist at that time. And e-commerce was just really growing and starting to pick up a lot. And Amazon just launched, many different products and services besides books, and it was just really exploding. And I was dabbling with different products. I sold all sort of things, shoes and technology and so many different things. And I got into jewelry business. And out of all the jewelry, what I learned that men's wedding rings actually were very, very profitable. And I started focusing on that business, on that side of the business. And once I figured that business on eBay, I actually created my own e-commerce store. And then years later, I actually end up selling that business and exiting for high six figures. And it was just like another success, another confirmation that I am on the right track. I built a successful business, somebody who saw value, they bought that business, and then I was able to take that money and put that money into my third business, which is online education business. As you probably know, if you've been following me on my channel. If you haven't, suggest you check a link in the bio. And the big vision, the big business that I'm building right now is thrivecourses.com. It's like Netflix for business education. And that's what I've been building now for the last 7 years. I've been in online education space for 9 years at this time of the recording of this video. And that's my ultimate vision now, because I love education, has made tremendous change in my life, and I've been able to do incredible things. We have multiple streams of revenue. And as I've been building all these businesses, I've been always rolling money into different kinds of investments, and I've been able to invest in real estate. And a couple of years ago, I actually had to sit down and put all my finances together for a bank for office that we were buying for my business. And when I added all my assets and all my investments, all that, I realized that I'm actually a self-made millionaire. And it was just such a crazy moment for me, that because I was never really like looking at such a close detail. I knew that I am a millionaire, but never actually put together the number and what is my net worth at that time. And when I actually sat down and put everything together, I realized I am a self-made millionaire. And on top of that, I am building this company that I haven't raised a dime for it. It's self-funded, and I've been able to figure out how to build that business. And we are tracking to be a $100 million company within probably 5 years. And it's just such a wild experience that I'm, growing up poor, moving to the United States with $80 a suitcase, barely speaking English, and being in the situation that I'm in is just remarkable. And the reason I'm sharing this story with you is not to brag, but truly just show you what's possible when you dream, when you follow those dreams with action and execution, and just leaning in and failing and failing forward and trying again, and seeing this beautiful place that we live, the times that we live. There's so many opportunities, and if you want to work, if you are hungry, the possibilities are limitless. And I'm not going to go too much in detail, what helped me succeed. There are so many other YouTube videos on my channel that you can check out, and on productivity and achievement and different things that I have done. But I wanted to tell you this story, how I moved to the United States with $80. What is my journey? How did I get here? And the biggest thing I would say, biggest building blocks, the two building blocks that helped me become a self-made millionaire, that's building businesses, number one. And then number two, being good with that money that I made in my businesses. I've always been wise with that money. I never wasted. It's been always about focusing, leveraging my income. I don't believe in cutting coupons. I don't believe penny pinching, if you may. I believe in focusing and providing more value to the world. I believe solving problems out in the world. I believe in entrepreneurship and, being just good enough with money. You don't have to avoid lattes to be rich. I don't believe in that. I don't believe that you should have a budget. I really don't have a budget. I tried. It's exhausting. It's a not productive use of my time. But what I do believe that you shouldn't be stupid with your money, and focus on the big ticket items, investments, and just focusing, making sure that you make more and more every year, and making sure that you invest more and more. And when you do that for years and years and years, magic happens. And the biggest thing that I am proud the most, and this is very, very important, that I always stuck with my ethics, doing things the right way, not cutting corners, not sacrificing my health, not sacrificing my relationships. I have a beautiful, sweet, loving, kind wife. I have 2 wonderful kids. I live in an area where I'm proud to live. So again, I'm not telling you those things to brag, but so many entrepreneurs sacrifice so much, their health, their relationships sometimes, and they achieve the success wealth-wise, but their reputation maybe is ruined, maybe their the relationships are ruined. And I think it's important to pursue your goals, but remember who you are, remember your values, remember what's important to you, because I thought I'll be a self-made millionaire by 30. That did not happen till like my mid 30s. So you just have to remember that good things do take time. Even if when you're hungry, you're ambitious, things take always a little bit longer than you think, than you want. But the main thing is enjoy the journey, keep pushing forward. And I believe in you. I believe in you, my friend. If you're watching this video this long, that means you are a go-getter. You're looking for education. You're looking for inspiration, just like I did way back. And I wish you all the best. I want to say thank you for listening to my story. Thank you for being on this channel. Drop a comment. Let me know. Share your journey. Share with me your goals, what you're looking to achieve, and how I can support you. Because this channel is all about mindset, how to make money, how to build wealth, and how to leave legacy. And I hope I have achieved that in some way in this video. So thanks again from the bottom of my heart for watching this video. I appreciate you so much. I wish you all the success to you. And if I can help you on your journey on this channel, subscribe, turn on that notification so I can keep inspiring you, motivating you, educating you. And if you want more in-depth education on entrepreneurship, check out the link in the description for our website, thrivecourses.com, where we bring you premier education on entrepreneurship, how to start and scale your business. So thanks again for watching. Appreciate you so much. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you soon.